So, shall we start on Recordsure? So, do you want to just explain a bit about your experience with Recordsure, where it came from, where it started for you specifically?
Yeah, sure. I guess so. So Recordsure spun out of the TCC group around 15 years ago, and it was designed to kind of fill the gaps that people are filling at the moment. So the whole process around wealth management and suitability reviews and QA and compliance is incredibly manual, and so RS was designed to come in and take a lot of the grunt work away from there, enable the human intelligence to be utilized, and kind of it's expensive, so use it properly. I joined quite a ways into the journey for Recordsure. We'd been going for quite a while. I was kind of 4.5 years. I've been in. I came in as chief product officer. I took over the chief commercial officer role. It's quite a nice poacher come gamekeeper role. If you're a chief product officer, you are tempted sometimes to run vanity projects and kind of build the product the way you want it.
Yes.
But if you're a chief commercial officer, you have to sell. And so you have to build something that people want.
Yes.
And equally, you can't oversell because then you've got to deliver it at the back end. So I'm my own check and balance is how I think. My own kind of QA compliance team.
Sounds like you need to create the solution that the challenges that advisors are facing, but also being able to sell it at the back end as well.
Exactly. Yeah. If it's the most technologically advanced, wonderful piece of kit in the world that no one wants to buy, I've failed.
Fair enough. Good point. And to be fair, I think at the minute within the industry, it's a topical subject. AI, generally speaking, is a topical subject, and I think Recordsure, the partnership that we have with intelliflo, that you have with intelliflo, works really well to our audience. Our customers like it, and also the integration makes it seamless for them to do any business.
I think you're absolutely right. I think so. We've always kind of started with the aim of doing compliance properly, and kind of making that a feasible thing for wealth managers, and the right types of AI in the right places, integrated with where all the data sits and all the document sits. It just makes that whole thing work well.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we delve into the proposition a bit, as pioneers in the AI-driven speech and document analysis, how does Recordsure stay ahead of the curve in regards to the wider piece?
Well, do you know what? It's an incredibly fast-paced industry, and the whole team is continuously looking for kind of capabilities in the marketplace, different changes in the way of techniques and kind of methodologies, and our CTO Kit Ruparel, who's a bit of a guru when it comes to AI and all things AI, is my one source of golden truth. So if he doesn't know about it, it probably hasn't happened. So he kind of brings most of the new things into us. And then a couple of examples where we've utilized some of those changes in the marketplace in our product to make a big change to what we're offering to our clients. The first one was around transcription. We built our own transcription engine because the generic transcription engines just simply weren't good enough. So we built it and trained it on wealth management language using wealth management conversations, and we annotated thousands of hours of conversations. We got to a place where our transcription was good enough to run our AI. And then about 3 years ago, Microsoft really upped the game with regards to transcription. And what we found was that their transcription became as good as ours, and then it became better than ours. And so we just use it. As far as we were concerned, that whole kind of transcription piece was simply a matter of getting a good transcript that we can use AI on. Yes. And so if there's a better way of doing that in the market, we'll engage with it. I guess the other example is generative AI. Yes. Now, I'm sure we'll have a fair amount of conversation about generative AI today, but generative AI is a massive change in the market. When people talk AI now, what they actually think is generative AI. They don't think of the traditional machine learning neural networks. They think of generative AI. And the kind of ubiquitous AI meeting notes that have swept across the wealth management market are all done using generative AI. And so we've incorporated that into our product as well. We have a Gen AI powered meeting notes solution, but it's only an interim one. So we are about to launch an improved, more accurate, more consistent set of AI meeting notes using predictive AI as the key driver. of how to do that. And so all of these things, as things change in the market, we're always looking for ways in which we can improve the product. And if it means we have to take a piece of our product and throw it away and replace it with something, that's okay.
Yeah, and I think we'll delve into some of that a little bit later.
I'm sure.
So obviously we get lots of questions from advisors around the human interaction versus automation and AI. How does your workflows work with regards to the balance of automation versus the ethical responsibility element on that?
Yeah, I mean, the kind of responsibility of AI is a big topic, and a lot of that revolves around kind of automating decisions based on the results of AI, and also kind of where the information that you're providing disseminates to, and kind of how you can control that so that it's protected. There's a real challenge, I think, in the wealth management market with regards to this. There's a massive drive for efficiency, and a lot of the AI vendors in the market are talking about going straight from a conversation recording directly into a fact find and a suitability record. There's huge risk in that. It's not something we advocate for. If you're using generative AI, the challenge you've got is you don't know how accurate something is or how confident you are. And so even if a generative AI product was 90% accurate, and they're not that good. But even if it was, then 10% of your data that you're transferring across would be incorrect. And with generative AI, you don't know which 10% is incorrect. And so you have no way of being able to validate the ones that are a bit iffy. You have to validate the whole thing. And that's where the human comes in.
Yeah.
So for me, the way it's working at the moment, we are increasing the risk of compliance failures in the market by allowing generative AI to populate fact finds and suitability letters. And I think it's going to come back and bite some people in the future. The way we look at it is, with predictive AI, it's different. With predictive AI, you have confidence factors with everything. And so if you are kind of evaluating a conversation and you are extracting data from it, then you'll know, is that piece of data confidently correct or is it not? And so if we use the same kind of 90-10 split, then on the 90%, you don't really have to do anything. On the 10%, you validate it. You spend some time and you validate it. And so effectively, you're creating a 90% efficiency saving by doing that. Whereas with the generative AI, you're kind of just taking a gamble.
Yes. Yeah, so you're still having to check everything, just as our customers would normally. But like I say, 90% automation versus that 100%. So, yeah, and I think that's it's a great thing. Obviously, the integration within intelliflo is fantastic. It allows the workflows to become seamless almost. Just explain a little bit about that in terms of the benefits to customers around.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a great example of that is in the ongoing servicing checks. So obviously, a massive thing in the marketplace. Everyone's been concerned about it. It's all gone a bit lukewarm with the FCA now, but it's I guess another one of those things of the FCA aren't making a big fuss about it because their whole approach has now become, we're going to allow you to self-regulate, but we're going to trust you to do the job properly, and if you don't, then the fines and the enforcement comes off the back of that. So with the ongoing servicing checks, one of the big things that we need to do is to have a clear picture of which documents have been present at the right time. And the AI does that automatically. So if we know a review's taking place, then we give it a little bit of time for the guys to do their documentation, and then the system will automatically go into intelliflo, extract the documents, and then the AI does all the identifying the documents and the dates that are associated with it, so you can go, I can feel confident that that particular case, that client for that year has had a good substantive review.